So we always hear about Messi and Ronaldo, who is the better of the two of them. It's always been the it's always been them at the center of who is the greatest ever at football of this generation, and I'm pretty sure. And Messi proved it by winning the World Cup with Argentina, which is the one that both of them hadn't won. Messi has solidified himself as the GOAT, in my opinion. But now it's time for the future GOATs of world football. So he so one of them featured in the final for France, scored a World Cup final hat trick, lost. But 4 years before that won a World Cup at just age 19 and won the World Cup Golden Boot. And he's won it twice already. He's French, 23 years old, plays for PSG, Kylian Mbappé. And now the other one joined Manchester City through an activated release clause. £50 million. People thought he was going to be a flop, a no-name. And when he played against Liverpool in the first match of the season in the Community Shield, he had one last chance in the last minute and he put it wide. It was an open goal and he missed it. But ever since he's arrived to the Premier League, he's been making it look easy. He is Erling Haaland, Norwegian, 6'2", also young. Now, so Haaland and Mbappe. Let's start there. Club goals this season, and overall, in the last. This is starting from season 15-16 to now. Who has had the most goals? Both of them started their senior career during the 2015-16 season. Mbappe playing for Monaco and Haaland playing for Bern in Norway. And Mbappe's highest scoring season ever in his career was for PSG in the 21-22 season. 46 goals for PSG. And Haaland's highest scoring season was in 1920 for Salzburg when he was it for Salzburg, I think. No. When he was at Salzburg and Dortmund, combined 44 goals. And club assists, who has the most? Because you have to compare the roles of Mbappe and Haaland. Haaland is a striker. He only plays up front. He's more of a penalty box striker. Mbappe can play wherever he wants. He can play on the left, he can play up front, and he can even probably play on the right. And so comparing club assists from 15-16 season to 22/23, Mbappe has hugely has more assists than Haaland. Combined 110 assists over the last few seasons and for Mbappe, and Haaland with only 39 assists, which just shows he's more or less just scorer. He's more of a finisher, in my opinion. And alright, so okay, so Haaland and Mbappe, international goals and games. Mbappe has played 66 games and 36 goals. Haaland, 23 games, 21 goals. And that it really is, within a span of just 23 games for Haaland, 21 goals is pretty insane. But he's not made it at the World Cup yet because Norway don't have the team so as to be capable of to do well in the World Cup. Now club trophies. Mbappe has 5 Ligue 1 titles which he won with PSG, 7 cup competitions. And Erling Haaland has 2 league titles and 2 cup competitions. So that's 4. Mbappe has hugely overtaken him by 12. Mbappe has won 5 league titles and 7 major knockout competitions in his career so far. Out of the 5 league titles, 4 came with PSG and 1 with Monaco. So he's won a trophy at every club he's been at so far. And Haaland has won 2 league titles and 2 major cup competitions. The league titles which Haaland won were in Austria with Salzburg. And international trophies, obviously, Mbappe takes the win. 1 World Cup and 1 UEFA Nations League, which he won last season with France. I mean, So when you're talking about Haaland versus Mbappe, you're talking about a player who does well. But Haaland is not at that stature of the GOAT level yet. People call him the greatest of all, soon to be greatest of all time. We'll see in 4 years. If Norway do well in the World Cup, I will raise my level of respect for Haaland. But at the moment, he is not at that. Like, he can score hat-tricks and all of that. He can win you games. But in big games, when I've seen this season, when he played Manchester United, Casemiro was marking him up easily. And when he played Liverpool in the Premier League, Van Dijk put him in his pocket. Joe Gomez put him in his pocket. One of our worst defenders ever put him in his pocket. And when he played Arsenal, Rob Holding, a no-name defender for Arsenal, a young prospect back then, who doesn't even get minutes, who doesn't ever start, put him in his pocket in the first half when they played Arsenal in the FA Cup. So, you're talking about a man who can dribble, and Mbappe has everything of that. He has great finishing. He can dribble. He can score amazing goals, which we saw in the World Cup. But the thing is with Mbappe, I think it's only him not scoring penalties, which is because like last night he scored a penalty. I don't know how, but yeah. And also Mbappe is going to be out for the Champions for 3 weeks apparently, so he'll miss the game against Bayern. But yeah, I think Mbappe is really the better out of the two of them because Mbappe scores crazy amount of goals and can create as well. He creates really, really well. He's outperformed Haaland with assists overall. And you're talking about assists so far this season. Mbappe's had 6 assists. Haaland's had only 3. And then last season, 26 assists from Mbappe. Haaland only 8. That just shows Mbappe is a much more creative player. And I think if he makes that big move, when he leaves PSG, he moves to either Real Madrid, Barcelona maybe, not Barcelona maybe, Man City maybe, or Manchester United, or Liverpool, Chelsea, all of these big name clubs, and he wins a Champions League with them, he will be one of the greatest of all time. At least 4 or more Champions League titles. And if Haaland can win the Champions League this season, fair play to him. But I don't think it's going to happen. And if it does happen, I will have some respect for Haaland because he's a world-class striker, but not at the GOAT level yet. So for now, Mbappe has a better future ahead of Haaland, in my opinion.